So my first question was going to be about Connor O'Sullivan, about his development. He just seems to be getting better and better each week. And what have you been feeding him? He just looks like he's got so much presence these days.
He's been amazing. Him and Lawson from that draft crop. And no, we can't take any credit. It's all been his and Lawson's hard work. They're always in here doing touch, working on their game, along with George Stevens, who's been playing well in the VFL as well. So, he's very handy. When those young players go well, it really lifts the team. So, we're very lucky to have Connor.
Sean Manor as well from that year as well. It's been pretty fruitful, those selections.
Yeah, it's sort of, I forget about Sean because, he's mature and he kind of feels like he's been a part of the team forever now. Having him back on the weekend just gives us an extra punch around the ball, and he's very clean and good with his use as well. So loved having him back, looking forward to seeing what he can do this year.
Have you spoken to Jack Henry since his injury? How's he going? And are you expecting it to be a bad one?
Yeah, I actually haven't spoken to him about his hammy, I think he's obviously done something. I think they're waiting on scans, and I don't expect to see him playing on Thursday, but it's hard to say.
Tom, you've always had an appetite for the contest, but it seems to have gone up a notch. Much has been made of your tackling numbers. You've been in double figures the first 4 weeks. I suspect it's not a conscious thing that you've always done that, but you look at those numbers at the end of the game and go, well, gee, I've wrapped a few up tonight.
It's hard. You sort of just play footy, and so I guess some of the games, like Brisbane was a really wet game, and then against the Saints we were defending for a lot of the games. So you can't read too much into those things. I'm just sort of playing footy, and I'm defensive midfielder, so those things are going to happen.
Yeah. Is it something you came in with a mindset for this year, or there was that throwaway sort of adjustment to your footy? You've always been that way, really, haven't you? Yeah,
no, it's just the way I play. I guess it's my what I fall back on. So it's just sometimes that's the way the game falls. You can't really control that. I might have 2 tackles. I think in the pre-season games I had like 2 and 4 tackles. So it might just be that the stars have aligned that 4 games in a row we've had a pretty contested start to the year, and I've had those tackles. So.
Do you set yourself a number per game that you'd like to make, or do you just go with the flow of the game?
No, I've got a million other things that I'm trying to focus on versus tackling. Tackling just happens. It's not a. I'm sure. That's what's funny about tackling. Anyone can do it, so it's not that impressive to me, to be honest. Like, you could go out with the mindset of like, I'm going to have 20 tackles this game, and you could probably do it. It's more achievable than, I'm going to have 20 clearances. I don't give it too much weight. I'm just playing footy and trying to help the team.
3 games in with Bailey Smith. Can you just talk to us about how you've seen his involvement in your midfield and the dynamic nature of his football?
Yeah, I love Baz. I think one thing I knew when he was coming to the club, I'd heard he works really hard, and he's really diligent, and he's a star as well. I knew that from 2 years ago. He obviously had the year off with the knee, but I couldn't be more excited to get him to the club, and he's delivered that already in spades. Over the pre-season. He's just always wanting to do extras. He takes note of our structures, always wanting to be across everything. And you really appreciate that as especially as a midfielder when you're working with him. He's really doing the work.
And Patrick Dangerfield slipped forward and kicked 3 goals. Is his transition to a forward complete, do you think?
Transition. He still was one of our better set of bounce players on the weekend. So. I think anywhere he plays, he's a tough matchup. I don't think there's anyone in the league really that would feel comfortable playing on Paddy. So it's probably just about how we can best use him. And I think on the weekend was a great balance of that. He was able to impact the scoreboard, but also, his power around the contest at times helped us drive the ball forward.
Adelaide's got a few weapons forward of the ball. It's going to be a big defensive effort this week, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. They're flying at the moment, and it looks like we'll get Mark Blitzarves back, so that'll help with our defence. Obviously, we lose Jack, but as always, like we don't try and rely on one or two people. It's a team effort, and I think often team defence helps out those matchups in the forward line. So if we can stop the ball further up the ground, then we won't put as much pressure on our tall backs to have an impact.
Rhys looked like he didn't miss a beat, did he? Late inclusion, and I suppose there's some comfort there that you know that you've got a bloke that's done it for so long that he can come in and it doesn't seem to throw anything out of kilter in the midfield.
Yeah, I love Rhys, and it's just credit to him the way he's held himself, and it's always tough being out of the team, and to be able to come in and have an impact like he did, you know what you're going to get with Rhys, and I really appreciated having him and his experience back in the midfield on the weekend.
You gather around games have been against neutral venue games. This one's a bit different. Do you think you'll still get the full feel of gather round, or will it just be just another home and away game because you're playing Adelaide?
I don't really buy in too much to those occasions. Obviously, it'll be loud. We know that, and always at Adelaide Oval, you can expect the crowd to be up and about. So we need to try and generate our own momentum within the team, and try and perform well. But yeah, it's exciting. We're the marquee game, I guess. We're the opener. So looking forward to hopefully winning.
Fair to say he's still searching for that fourth-quarter performance, Tom, do you think?
100%, yeah. I don't think any of these games really we've reached our peak. So it's just we just need to keep having that mindset. I think that we don't get too happy with ourselves, and we just keep trying to work on things that we haven't been doing too well of late.
Contract-wise, you are out of contract at the end of the year. Your management started discussions about what 2026 and beyond looks like yet?
Yeah, it's not really up to me. Like, obviously, I love Geelong. I love the club. I'd love to stay here, but we'll just see what happens.